Next we have Dr. York Hsaing. I guess it's Hsaing. And he has got a list of degrees. He's a professor emeritus of surgery and former head of vascular surgery at the University of BC, consultant surgeon at the VGH, born in Taiwan, educated in the United States, New Zealand, and Canada. He's a distinguished fellow of the Society for Vascular Surgery, past president of the Pacific Northwest Vascular Surgery, Western Vascular Surgery, and Canadian Society for Science and Ethics in Medicine, and he took early retirement rather than take the vaccination. So I'll leave it over to you, Doctor.
Well, thank you very much, Bruce. I'd like to thank Bruce and John, as well as everybody at the Bill 36 Committee, for organizing such a momentous event today. I think we got our message across. Stephen has asked me to talk a little bit about the impact on healthcare professionals. And I think you heard a little bit earlier from Christoph about some of the impacts of this. I would like to point out a few things, though. Every time Adrian Dix gets a tough question about doctors, nurses leaving, the glib answer is, we're working on it. We've given them so much money. We're hiring all these nurses. We're hiring all these doctors. But is that true?
No.
I came across an interesting statistic. In 2017, pre-COVID, the BC Nurses Union, which represents all the nurses, the registered nurses, the licensed practical nurses, etc., had 55,000 members. In 2023, the BCNU now has only 47,000 members. When the government tells us that only 2.5% of British Columbian healthcare workers were let go, fired, they have no idea how many, like me, took early retirement. The estimate is anywhere between 8,000 to 10,000. Consider that number for a second. Of the 8,000, probably 7,000 are nurses. The difference between the number of nurses in BC now compared to 2017 is 7,000. That's where your 7,000 nurses are. You have not replaced any of those nurses. In fact, I don't know how long it'll take you to ever replace those nurses. They're not coming back. The situation, though, gets worse because 8,000 out of maybe about 120,000 or so total healthcare workers, let's say 12%, have left. This is not just any random 12%. Consider if you're in a military organization and it's a pyramidal structure with the generals at the top and the privates at the bottom. You take out 12% of the privates, well, that's bad, but the 12% that you've taken out are the senior officers. That's who you've lost. You've lost your captains to your colonels. That's why your hospitals can't run well. You've taken out the most experienced people, the most dedicated, highly organized people, and you're going to replace them with privates, new nursing recruits. Is that even possible? We are so far behind in all of this. On top of that, they're leaving. More and more are leaving. Doctors and nurses are leaving. The end result is that, not surprisingly, hospitals close down. Departments in hospitals close down. Walk-in clinics close down. Where is the end to all of this? As I flew over this morning on a beautiful seaplane, I looked down and I was amazed at how wonderful Victoria looks like. And it's so wonderful because everybody was doing their job, serving and protecting. And as we get close to Remembrance Day, we've heard consistently people talking about our military, who have given so much to serve and protect us. Well, in the health profession, that's what we want to do too. We want to serve and protect. We can't serve without healthcare workers. And so, protect. The government says this new Health Professionals Occupation Act protects the public. Protects them from what? They consider us as offenders, every one of us. And so the public has to be protected. If you carry on like this, there won't be any healthcare workers left. The government is really stuck in terms of what it can do. And it reminded me of a letter I received earlier this week. UBC has a new president and vice chancellor. And he started off by saying, he was introducing himself, started off by saying he's talking about all the problems, primarily in the Middle East, and what is happening on campus, where you have Jewish students and you have Muslim students. And so they're warring. And this happens on every campus, every major city. And so he's trying to steer some type of middle path of not trying to offend anybody. So I wrote back to him. I said, congratulations on your new position. I understand that you have a tough job ahead of you. But here's a suggestion. You know that we have a divided campus right now. And you want to know, how can I bring them back? But here's my suggestion. Why don't you look at the last time you divided your campus with your unvaccinated students and your unvaccinated faculty? Why don't you apologize to them? Why don't you bring back your unvaccinated professors who you fired? And why don't you tell them it'll never happen again? And when you do that, make it public. Tell the people you mean business. This is the low-hanging fruit. The minimum amount you can do. It certainly won't hurt you in any way, but it will send a strong message in terms of reconciliation. And this is the path you need to seek. I'm still waiting for a response to my letter. The HPOA has to be repealed. It is absolutely terrible. I would be the first to say I am ready to not only repeal it, but to give it a different type of life that will serve what the government wants. It will both serve and protect. We're ready to serve. Thank you.
Thank you very much.